Hello, welcome to another video on the farm, and today we are working on the French 75 millimeter again. Well, of course, this one's not 75 millimeter, but the real one would be. Anyways, so I made a lot of progress. I haven't really been documenting it a lot because most of it is just welding. You know, not much fun to watch. Zoom this out a bit. I built the gun. I put the shield on. This is the back part. And I had to move it out. This is our workshop. I was working over there. I had to move it out here into the horse barn, mostly so I could get it out of here because that thing's in the way. And then this I'm going to cut up and use for shells. So how my shell loading system works on this one is way simpler. It's not exactly shell loading, but so if you look at pictures of a real 75 millimeter, it has like a it has this hydraulic, this is supposed to represent it, but it has like a hydraulic thing underneath that helps with the recoil. It's mostly so that it'll still stay accurate. And then this is a 1-inch PVC part. Potato guns are really simple. They're mostly 4 parts. You got your barrel, which I use 1/2 inch and a half. This is a 1.5 inch to 3 inch bell adapter, piece of 3-inch PVC. I think this is like 11 inches, and then an end cap. But what I did is I knocked out there's a little border on the back of this inside of here, and I knocked it out so I could push this pipe all the way through. And then that way, what I can do is I can just take a preloaded shell or a chunk of that 1/2 inch, load a potato in, simply put it onto here, and use a dowel and shove it up into the barrel. And another thing is on this sides of the pipe here up to like here, you want to like drill holes on the inside of this pipe, mostly so that the combustion is not just. But the thing is, if you drill holes, you got to push it up into like this part of the barrel. You can't just shove it a little bit in the back, otherwise it won't fire. Of course, all the hairspray will escape. But yeah, next video it'll most likely be mounted already, and probably gonna be like a 4-part video at 4 parts at most. I had my 1, this is 2, 3 when it's done, and 4 when I'm shooting it, so pretty short. But my elevation system, I built that. All this is on. Oh yeah, this is my little thing here. It's kind of hard to see. But on the real one, they have like a spike that comes out the bottom. This is all my welds. I don't know. Oh yeah, any professional welders out me tell this. Is this a decent bead to you? I don't know. But real ones, they would have this spike that comes at the bottom. I still got to cut a point out to it. There's a lot of things I got to do on this thing. Like, for example, I'm going to put a seat over here, like on the real one, where your person shooting would sit. They'd basically just sit facing this way, and then they would operate the breech, how to open the breech, and then they'd fire it as well. And then I'm pretty sure on the real one also there'd be a second seat over here for your person. It'd be working elevation and fire and sighting it in, which I'm just going to use an old BB gun scope to kind of mount on there so it kind of can act a little bit like a sight given. Potato guns are they're not exactly accurate. They can shoot far, but they're not very accurate, especially if you're using one like this one, which is propane or hairspray fired, because you kind of can't really gauge how much you're putting in there. You just got to go by seconds. But yeah, that's kind of it so far. And then I got a spike on the bottom. Like I was saying, that's just so it doesn't kick back as much. Also, the real one would have a bracket that'd come down and would go on there. Oh, what the hell? Oh, cats. Anyways, cat. But it would have a thing that would swing down and would fall underneath or you'd pick it up, swing it under the wheel, and put it back down. Just so the thing didn't. Just so every time you shot, because the thing shot a 75 millimeter round, which is like, it's like the thing that would be around the size of that PVC. That's 1.5 inch. But it would stop it from going back. And then this top part, none of this is to scale. It's around 2/3 size, 2/3 scale of a real one. but some of it is different. I don't know, I'm just kind of going off, just eyeballing it. But this part, it's an old ring that I cut off, and then another piece of just like flat stock I cut up and bent. And then that's gonna be my little tow hitch. And then for elevation, this isn't welded on yet. How I mounted this is I used a piece of angle iron, piece of this U stuff. This isn't a full square, it's hollow up underneath here. But I went and welded it on here, and then I used another piece of big U iron that I welded this car jack onto. And then I just used a chunk of rebar and another chunk of rebar, piece of PVC, and a washer. That's kind of my little elevation handle. Pretty simple stuff, not very complicated. But I'm gonna weld that on, and then I'm gonna figure out the barrel mount, and then my sight, and some other modifications I gotta do to the gun. But yeah, that's about it for now. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.